this is a podcast based on who Jesus was. Okay, basically Jesus was from the tribe of Judah, and he came in as a prophet, the way I say it, because you can't just label him a God. And the reason is because we already have the one true God, and I speak for the Jews. So we had many prophets over the years, but Jesus is one that actually sets the standard. And he was a prophet because, and when anyone rises up, he's considered a prophet. But he was one of the greatest prophets. In fact, we all seem to believe that him to be the Son of God. Some of them even want him to take the place of God, and I think that's an error. But to say the least, there is many gods. You know, and God is a jealous God, and that's Jehovah Jireh, the one that I serve. There's many gods, but I have to say that because of Yeshua HaMashiach. Anyway, so there is the Poseidon God, and then the God of War. There's a bunch of them that those are actual real gods. And then you have the Bathsheba God, the pig, and all these other gods. Buddha, you know. There is other gods as well, but we're going to speak on Jesus' story right now. See, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Jesus was basically a person that discipled 12. And believe it or not, Jesus also got Apostle Paul, and with Apostle Paul, we got most of the books. And it was based on church. And what church really is basically a government within a government. So that's kind of why Jesus was a criminal, because he was starting a government within a government. And with that being said, he was trying to take over. I wanna put Jesus as Alexander the Great, only being a governor, a person that just put in laws. Jesus came in making his own law. Let's not forget that Jesus has a law greater than the one of the Father. It is a law that it's structured and it's placed by the Father, but it's not respected by the tribe of Levi, which is the priesthood and is the Torah. But that law still stands today. And with that being said, you are in the place of what we call the USA, the stripes. This government was made based on that God. Okay, in God we trust. When they say in God we trust in the money, they're referring to Jesus. So, it's just the government, and Jesus discipled 12. Okay, one betrayed him, Judah. Then we have the Apostle Paul that he gave he made it greater. See, Apostle Paul he went into different countries. The Philippines, the Corinthians, the Galatians, the Thessalonians. You know, all those were different coasts and different governments, and they would go in there and govern. And right now, the Philippines, to this day, has some sort of Christianity. You go to those coasts, to those places where Apostle Paul, to this day, they have some kind of Christianity. But don't get me wrong, most of this part of the other side of the world is diabolical, but this side of the world is Christian. We're based all Christian. And then Jesus did a little bit more. See, there's sects to this. You have the Mormons, You have the Joe Smiths. You have the Jehovah Witnesses that they're related to the Jews. You have the Pentecostals that are Christians, churches separated and basically a home church from other churches. The evangelists. There's people that are evangelists and then they're just going from place to place preaching Jesus' gospel. You have the teachers. You have well, you have the Jews for one. The Jews are still around. I mean, and then you have well, that's basically, and then you have the our brothers. They're part of our brothers, but you know we're going to war right now as we speak. The Allahs, whatever they want to call themselves. I'm just gonna call them the Allahs. I'm not gonna go forth all that because I am in the U.S. and that could be a problem. And anyway, going back on Jesus, there are many branches and different gospels, and a lot of them have different scripture, but it's all basically the truth on Jesus' gospel. It's just what someone else knew about it. You have the Catholic Church that bases on the saints and other stuff, and they are part of the government. They got strength in Rome because of the Roman Empire. So that's basically it. They are part of the gospel, but they call them well, we're just gonna leave it on the code. But that's basically on Jesus. And then he was a person that's in time, which is before Christ and after Christ. And believe it or not, if we follow his scriptures, he's supposed to have an end of times as well. Which I don't care. I'm against it. And I don't fully believe that that's got to be the truth, because that's horrible. That's a horror movie. It's a real Halloween, what I'm looking at. So that's basic information on who Yeshua HaMashiach was. This is a podcast done by DJ Courage.